Welcome students to another session. See, some formulas you are supposed to know when you are solving questions on field of a bar magnet. As you know, we are in the pure magnetism chapter. So suppose this is a bar magnet and this is your north pole and the south pole. So magnetic field lines when you show like this is from north to south. Okay. So magnetic field lines will tell you about the intensity of or the strength of the magnetic field. Like if there is a magnet is there, if I take a point somewhere near, how strong is the magnetic field? That will be given by a physical parameter called B, and it is a vector. So if you take this magnet, so this is the axial line, so this is the axial direction, and if you take from the center, it is called equatorial line, and so you will have a magnetic field strength along this line and along this line also, and you can take a general point which is neither on the equatorial nor on the axial. So for the long magnet, BA is given by mu naught by 4 pi 2 md divided by d square minus l square whole square. Okay, so d is the distance and l is the length of the magnet. Alright. Now, in case of a short magnet, which most of the questions come, so here what happens is L is very less compared with the D. That means you want to find somewhere here, let us say. So from taking from here, now this is the D distance. When you compare with this length, let us say D is 1 meter and length of the magnet is only 10 centimeters. Okay, so D is quite big. So there your formula becomes BA is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 m by d cube. You can remember this as a constant. Now these formulas are similar to the electrostatic chapter, you know, there also you have found out the electric field along the axial line and along the equatorial line. Coming to the equatorial line, BA is given by mu naught by 4 pi m by, here it is d square minus l square, here it is d square plus l square to the power of 3 by 2. But most of the times we will be using this formula. In the question it will be mentioned that it is a short magnet. You have to look for the term whether it is a long magnet or a short magnet. Okay. So for short magnet, so this will become mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube. See what happens when L is very less compared with D. You can ignore this L value. Then what will happen? D square whole square. Just ignore this L. D square whole square means D power 4. So D divided by D power 4 becomes D power 3 in the denominator. So apart from this, sometimes question can be asked on to find magnetic field strength at some general point. Now here the point you have to understand is this general point should be in the plane of axial line and equatorial line. It should not be in some other plane. If you take this board as the reference, you can see that axial line and equatorial line is there. So the general point also should be on the board. So for this, B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi m multiplied by 3 cos square theta plus 1 divided by d cube. Now what is this theta? You take the center point, you join this is your theta. You put theta is equal to 0, you see what happens? When you put theta is equal to 0, this becomes cos theta is 0, so 3 plus 1 4, root over 4 is 2, you are getting the case of axial. You put theta is equal to 90, see what happens, cos 90 is 0, so it becomes m upon d cube, which is the case of equatorial. So this is the generic expression from which either equatorial or axial can be derived. Okay, let us look into this question. Two magnets of magnetic moments M1 and M2 are rigidly fixed together at the centers so that their axes are inclined to each other. This system is suspended in a magnetic field of induction B so that M1 makes an angle theta 1 and M2 makes an angle theta 2 with the field direction. You have to note these terms very carefully. Okay. the resultant torque on the rigid system is, so let us say you have a magnetic field like this, right? The magnetic field of intensity B, right? So this is from north to south, I told you. So you have a magnet, alright, and let us say the south pole is here and the north pole is here. I will take this direction as, magnetic moment direction is always outside of the north. Okay, so this is of intensity m1 and with the field it is making angle theta 1, and you have got another magnet like this. Okay, now this is making an angle theta 2. Okay, but they are kept in such a way that their polarities are opposite. Okay, so that m1 makes an angle theta 1 and m2 makes an angle theta 2 with the field rigidly fixed together at the center so that their axes are inclined to each other. This system is suspended in magnetic field of induction B so that m1 makes an angle theta 1 and m2 makes an angle theta 2 with the field direction. So if this is south and this is north, so I will take this as north and this is south. Okay, and I have taken the direction like this. Okay, I have taken the direction. So no, this is north, south, so we have to keep this south. It has to be opposite polarity. So direction is like this. Now this is the direction of m2. This is the direction of m1. Okay. Now he is asking you to find out the torque on the rigid system. See, these two magnets are being suspended in a magnetic field. So obviously there will be a torque because of this magnet and there will be a torque because of this magnet. So what is the torque because of this magnet? See, there is a south pole here, there is a north pole here. So there will be a force. What is that force? Force is given by m multiplied by b. And what is torque? Torque is what? M cross b. Okay, m cross b means mb sin theta. If you take the magnitude, it is m b sin theta, right? So the total torque will be because of magnet 1 and magnet 2. So torque total will be equal to torque 1 plus torque 2. But we have to see the direction here. You see, this is north and this is south. So there will be attraction. So this force will act like this and this force on this magnet will act like this. So this will try to rotate in this fashion. Coming to this. Okay. So here it is south and it is south. So what will happen? There will be some repulsion, there will be some mutually opposite it will be. Okay. So here also this magnet also will try to rotate in the similar fashion as the first one. So what is happening is both are in the same direction. So both torques are getting added up. Okay. So for the torque 1, we have to write m1, the intensity is b sin theta 1. Okay, plus m2 b sin theta 2. Take b common, it is m1 sin theta 1 plus m2 sin theta 2. Which option? Option 1. Okay, so we need to understand here that we need to draw this diagram and we need to see that the orientation. See here, angle is given with respect to the vertical, that we have to be very careful. Okay, the angle what we have to take is with respect to the vertical only. So that's it. Polarity wise we have taken correctly. Yeah, if this has, I have taken this as this direction, this is in this direction. So south to north, north to south. Option 1 is the right answer. Let's see the next question. Three identical thin bar magnets each of moment m are placed along three adjacent sides of a regular hexagon as shown in the figure. The resultant magnetic moment of the system is. So you can see that there is a regular hexagon is there, all sides are equal, and there are three adjacent sides where the magnets are kept. Now you have to find the resultant moment of the system. So you can draw the magnetic moment lines here. So it is outside north. So this is, all are same. So this is M. So here north is there. So this will be like this. And here north is there. So this will be like this. Okay. Now you have to draw the angles here. As you know, in a hexagon, the central angle will be 60 because all put together will be 360, and there are how many triangles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All are equilateral triangles. So this will be 60. So this will be 60. So this angle will be 120. So you have a situation like this where you have M like this and another M like this, and they are making 120 degrees. Alright. So let us say the resultant of these two is M1. M1 will be equal to root over M square plus M square plus 2M into M cos 120. Alright. So if you solve this, cos 120 is minus half. So remember these values, cos 120 is minus half and sin 120 is root 3 by 2. Okay. So if you put this value here, you get root 3m. Okay. Now because these two moments are equal, so the resultant of these two will pass through the center. We can very well verify that also. Remember in the parallelogram law, tan alpha is equal to p sin theta by p plus q cos theta, isn't it? But here p and q both are m, so this is m sin 120 divided by m plus m cos 120. Sin 120 is root 3 by 2, so you get here root 3 by 2, and here this is minus half, m minus m by 2 will be m by 2. So basically you are getting what? You are getting root 3. So tan alpha you are getting as root 3. So tan alpha is getting root 3 means it is 60 degrees. So this is 60 degrees. Right? Then you have another magnetic moment like this. Now you have to find the resultant of this and this. So what is the value we got? We got the value as root 3m. So we have to find the angle between these two. Okay. So you can see here that if I draw a parallel line to this line, if this is 60, so obviously this will cut somewhere here, so this will be 60. Okay. And in this triangle, in this situation, you can see that this is 60 degrees. Alright, so this total is 120 degrees. This total is 120 degrees, isn't it? This is a straight line, so 60. So total will be 180. This will be 120. But again, this is also a straight line. So if this is 120 degrees, so this is 60 degrees. Okay. So you are getting 60 here, you are getting 60 here. That means this angle between them will be equal to 60 degrees. Okay. Let us just verify. This is 60, this is 120, 120 by say half. Alright. So basically you are getting again an equilateral triangle over there. But 60. So 60, 120. So we are cutting like this, no? So this is 60, so this is 60. So this is 120. So you have one vector like this m root 3, another like this n, making angle 60. So your m2, the final resultant will be root over m square plus m root 3 whole square plus 2m m root 3 into cos 60. Cos 60 is half. So if you take m common, it is 1 plus 3 plus, this is root 3 you are getting. It is 4 plus root 3. But there is no such option also. I think we have done some mistake in the calculation of angles only. So this is 60 and these two are equal. So this is 60 and this is 60. Okay, and this is a straight line. So straight line means this total will be 120. Fine. So you have a moment like this, you have a moment like this. So when you take the resultant of these two, because both are same, it will pass through the center. So it is 60. And what about this? So this is 60. So this is 120. Alright. So this is 120. What is this small angle? So basically we have to crack what is this angle. We are trying to find out what is the angle when we have to see the directions also. This direction is like this and this direction is like this. Okay. So this is 60 because both are parallel. So this is 60, this will be 60. Then what is the problem? Where is the problem coming? This is like this, this is like this. 60, 60, 60. Okay. Now if this is 60, this total will be 120. Okay. So if this total is 120, 60, 60, 60. You're getting 30, no? So you are getting here 30. 30 degrees you are getting. So this is 90. This is 90 degrees. So here you have to see that angle is 90 actually. This angle is 90. So if it is 90, this term won't be there. So it is root over m square plus m root 6 whole square. You take out m common, you get 1 plus 3. It is m into root 4. It is 2m. Option 4 is the right answer. Actually, it is like this, when you are drawing these lines, this total angle is 120 because individually this is 60 and this is 60. So this angle is 60, So you have m like this, you have m like this, and this is what you got resultant. Okay. So this small angle will be 30. So you are extending this. So you have got another m like this. Okay. So this is 30, so this will be 30, and this is 120. So this small angle will be 60. So this angle will be 90. Okay. So the angle between these two are 60 degrees because this total angle is 120. So we have taken this as 60 actually, but we have to take this total angle we have to take. Okay. And when you calculate, let us check whether this option was correct or not. Some calculations sometimes we have to be very careful. So this is m and m. So it will be m square plus m square plus 2m1 m2. Cos 60 is half. So you are getting root 3m only. So luckily the resultant is okay. We have made little calculation mistakes in the angle. Okay, I hope now you understood. This is 120, so this is 60. Because both vectors are same, it will go through the half. So this is 30. Draw a parallel line here. This is 30, this is 30. This is 60, so this is 120. This small angle will be 60 because this whole angle is 180. So this is in this triangle, you have got 60, you have got 30, and you got 90 degrees. Okay. So when you solve that, you get option 4 as the right answer. Next question. A cylindrical rod magnet has a length 5 cm and a diameter 1 cm. It has a uniform magnetization of 5.3 to 10 power 3 amperes per meter. What is the magnetic dipole moment? So they have given you a cylindrical rod of configuration like this. They have given you this as length as 5 centimeter and this diameter is given as 1 centimeter. What is uniform magnetization? Suppose this metallic rod is there, so you want to magnetize it. How much you can magnetize? So the formula is given by the magnetic dipole moment M is equal to this magnetization multiplied by the volume. This much material you can magnetize. If you keep it in a strong magnetic field, this much will be the magnetized. This is what you are going to magnetize it. So here I is given as 5.3 into 10 to the power of 3. What is the volume of a cylinder? It is pi r square h, but here there is the length, so pi r square. Diameter is 1 centimeter, so radius will be 0.5 centimeter. So 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. This is pi r square multiplied by length. Length is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So we have to check the powers: 10 power minus 4, 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 6, 10 power 3. So total you are getting 10 power minus 3. So here you are getting 5.3, right? Here you are getting 5, and here you are getting 0.1. 0.5 means what? 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square, 1 by 4. And you are also getting 1 5 here. It is approximate. So this is 5.3 into pi means 3.14. So 5 into 3, 15. 15 into 5, 75. So it will be close to 78, 80. 80 by 4, 20. So 20 point something into 10 to the power of 3 or 20 milli joules per Tesla is what you should get. Only one option is there. Pick it. Option 1 is the right answer.